Ever wondered what shadows lurk behind the glitz and glamour of Bollywood? From hidden scandals to untold stories, the industry's dark secrets are waiting to be unveiled. In this story, we delve deep into the controversies and mysteries that Tinseltown doesn't want you to know. Stay tuned as we expose the truth behind the facade of India's cinematic empire. Chapter 1: The Dawn of Bollywood. Haji Mastan and the Golden Age of Indian Cinema. The 1960s and 1970s were Bollywood's golden age, an era of timeless classics, magnetic stars, and poetic storytelling. Audiences swooned over Raj Kapoor's romantic idealism, wept with Dilip Kumar's tragic depth, and danced to the beats of Shammi Kapoor's rebellious charm. Yet behind the shimmering curtains of this cinematic paradise lurked a darker force, a nexus of power, money, and crime. At the center of this shadowy web stood Haji Mastan Mirza, a name that evoked both fear and fascination. A smuggler-turned-movie mogul, Mastan's foray into Bollywood wasn't just about money. It was a calculated play for legitimacy, influence, and immortality. This is the untold story of how a dockyard gangster rewrote the script of India's film industry. Born in 1926 to a Tamil Muslim family in Bombay's gritty docks, Haji Mastan's early life was a far cry from the glamour he'd later chase. Starting as a petty thief, he quickly mastered the art of smuggling, capitalizing on post-independence India's restrictive license Raj. Gold, electronics, and contraband flowed through his network, earning him the moniker Bombay's Pirate King. By the 1960s, Mastan had amassed staggering wealth, but his ambitions stretched beyond the shadowy alleys of Dongri. He craved respectability, and Bollywood, a world where fantasy and reality collided, offered the perfect stage. For Mastan, Bollywood was more than a hobby. It was a metamorphosis. The film industry, then plagued by financial instability and opaque funding, became a laundromat for his illicit riches. Producing movies allowed him to legitimize his wealth while rubbing shoulders with the era's biggest stars. But there was another motive: legacy. Mastan, the man once synonymous with crime, wanted to be remembered as a patron of art. He saw films as his ticket to being loved, not feared, recalls a veteran journalist. Though details of Mastan's filmography remain shrouded in myth, whispers link him to several projects. The 1971 drama Duniya Ka Mela, produced under his banner Haji Mastan Films, allegedly showcased his influence. While not a commercial hit, its star-studded premiere, attended by Kapoor and Kumar, sent a message. He was now a bona fide industry player. His collaborations often involved troubled projects. Directors in financial straits suddenly found anonymous benefactors. He'd arrive like a savior, cash in hand, no questions asked, a retired studio head revealed. Mastan's most audacious power plays were his friendships with Bollywood's elite. Raj Kapoor, the showman of Indian cinema, and Dilip Kumar, the tragedy king, were often spotted at his soirees. Photos of him flanked by the duo at yacht parties or Diwali gatherings became tabloid fodder. While some dismissed these ties as mere social climbing, insiders hint at deeper bonds. Kapoor, struggling with debts during Mera Naam Joker's production, reportedly received clandestine support. Dilip Kumar, meanwhile, faced rumors of Mastan bankrolling his political campaigns. Yet, these relationships were transactional. Stars gained access to funds and protection. Mastan gained prestige. He'd gift them Rolexes, gold pens, anything to feel accepted, a former associate confessed. The underworld Don even dabbled in screenwriting, allegedly penning dialogues for crime dramas. His mantra? In films, the hero always wins. I wanted to be that hero. By day, Mastan played the benevolent businessman, donating to orphanages and funding scholarships. By night, he ruled Bombay's underworld, his influence seeping into studio lots and editing rooms. Directors feared his wrath. Those who crossed him found sets vandalized or screenings sabotaged. When a producer reneged on a deal, Mastan's henchmen allegedly intercepted film reels, holding them ransom. He wasn't just a financier, he was a puppeteer, a veteran actor mused. Mastan's Bollywood experiment ended as quietly as it began. By the 1980s, younger, fiercer dons like Dawood Ibrahim and Kareem Lala eclipsed him, turning film financing into a violent extortion racket. Yet his legacy endured. He'd proven that Bollywood's glittering facade could be manipulated, its vulnerabilities exploited. The industry's tryst with the underworld had begun, culminating in the 1990s terror, assassinations, bombings, and a flight of stars like Shah Rukh Khan into armed security. Haji Mastan died in 1994, a relic of a bygone era. His funeral drew crowds of mourners, gangsters, actors, and slum dwellers alike. Today, his story lives on in films like Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, where his character declares, "I don't want to be a smuggler, I want to be a king." For Bollywood, his reign was a cautionary tale of ambition and moral compromise, a reminder that even in a world of make-believe, reality casts the longest shadow. The golden age of Bollywood was not just shaped by artists, but by men like Haji Mastan, who blurred the lines between hero and villain. His saga, a cocktail of crime, cinema, and craving for redemption, remains etched in India's cultural memory. As the industry evolves, his ghost lingers, a testament to a time when the reels spun with dreams, danger, and the dark charisma of a Don who dared to direct his own destiny. Chapter 2. The year Bollywood's facade cracked, Sushant Singh Rajput's death. On June 14th, 2020, India came to a standstill. News channels blared a headline that felt like a punch to the gut. Sushant Singh Rajput, 34, found dead in Mumbai home. The actor, beloved for his boyish charm and meteoric rise from TV soap operas to blockbuster films, had allegedly died by suicide. Social media erupted in grief. Fans lit candles at impromptu vigils, and Bollywood's glittering facade began to splinter. What followed was not just a quest for answers, but a seismic reckoning for an industry long accused of hiding dark secrets behind its silver screen glow. Sushant's journey was the stuff of dreams. Hailing from Bihar, an engineering dropout with no film lineage, he danced his way into living rooms as the lead of Pavitra Rishta. By 2013, he leaped into Bollywood with Kai Piche, a critical hit. His roles grew bolder. The detective in Detective Byomkesh Bakshi, the astronaut in Chichhor, and the cricketing legend MS Dhoni in the biopic that made him superstar. Yet behind the accolades, whispers swirled. Colleagues called him a voracious learner. Insiders labeled him an outsider. In an industry where surnames like Kapoor and Khan opened doors, Sushant's lack of lineage became both his pride and his prison. Hours after his death, hashtags like Justice for SSR and Boycott Bollywood flooded Twitter. The rage wasn't just about losing a star, it was about systemic rot. Kungana Ranaut, Bollywood's self-proclaimed truth teller, launched a scathing attack on movie mafias who sidelined outsiders. She named names: Karan Johar, Alia Bhatt, Sonam Kapoor, star kids she accused of monopolizing opportunities. Memes contrasted Sushant's rise with starlets who debuted with grand fanfare despite mediocre talent. The debate wasn't new, but Sushant's death made it visceral. Fans unearthed a 2019 interview where he confessed, "I've never been invited to Karan Johar's parties." For millions, it became proof of exclusion. The Academy Award-winning documentary period End of Sentence producer Ganeet Monga tweeted, "The industry failed him." Overnight, nepotism wasn't just a buzzword, it was a battle cry. As the nepotism debate raged, another conversation emerged, one India had long stifled: mental health. Reports revealed Sushant had battled depression for months. Friends hinted at professional setbacks, exacerbating his struggles. Yet, in a culture where mental illness is often dismissed as weakness, his suffering went unaddressed. Psychiatrist Dr. Harish Shetty noted, "Celebrities fear stigma. Seeking help is seen as a career risk." The tragedy spurred actors like Deepika Padukone, who'd earlier shared her depression journey, to renew calls for empathy. Yet, the discourse teetered between compassion and conspiracy. Wild theories accused colleagues of sabotaging Sushant's career, overshadowing the need for systemic mental health support. Just as the nation grappled with grief, a twist ripped open another layer. In August 2020, the Narcotics Control Bureau launched an investigation into alleged drug use linked to Sushant's case. WhatsApp chats surfaced, suggesting his girlfriend, actress Rhea Chakraborty, had procured marijuana for him. Overnight, Rhea transformed from grieving partner to media villain, the gold-digging witch who drove Sushant to death. The NCB's dragnet widened. A-list stars received summons. Party planners and managers were arrested. Rhea, jailed for 28 days, became the face of Bollywood's drug nexus. Paparazzi stalked her as she left court, face hidden behind sunglasses. Feminists slammed the spectacle as a witch hunt, noting male stars escaped scrutiny. Filmmaker Anurag Kashyap tweeted, "Selective outrage. Where's the NCB when big fish party on yachts?" The scandal revealed less about Sushant and more about an industry where vice and power intertwined. The nepotism debate led to streaming platforms embracing fresh faces, at least for a while. Yet, star kids still dominate marquees. The system's stubborn, admits casting director Shubham Sharma. But now, audiences demand merit. Mental health, too, gained reluctant acknowledgement. Production houses hired on-set counselors. Actors like Shah Rukh Khan openly discussed therapy. However, the drug probe's aftermath proved murkier. The NCB's focus on Bollywood sparked accusations of political diversion. For many, the industry's cocaine and clout image persists. Sushant Singh Rajput's death was a tragedy that became a catalyst. It forced Bollywood to confront its paradoxes, the glamour and the gloom, the inclusivity claims and the closed doors. Did it change anything? For outsiders, hope flickers dimmer but persists. For mental health, whispers are now conversations, albeit fragile ones. As for the drug saga, it remains a cautionary tale of media sensationalism and selective justice. In the end, Sushant's story is more than a moment. It's a mirror, and Bollywood, like the nation that adores it, must decide what it sees reflected. The lights are still bright, but the shadows they cast, they've never been darker. Chapter 3, the Salman Khan hit-and-run saga. Under the dim glow of streetlights in Bandra, Mumbai, on September 28, 2002, the city's usual hum was shattered by a screech of tires and the sickening crunch of metal. A white Toyota Land Cruiser, later revealed to be owned by Bollywood's beloved by Salman Khan, veered off the road and plowed into the sidewalk outside a bakery. The impact was devastating. 5 men sleeping on the pavement were struck, their lives irrevocably altered in an instant. One man, Nurullah Mahbub Sharif, a laborer, died on the spot. 4 others were rushed to the hospital, bloodied and broken. Among them, Kalam Muhammad Patan succumbed to his injuries 4 years later, adding to the tragedy. What followed was not just a legal battle, but a media circus, a public reckoning, and a haunting question. Could India's biggest star evade accountability? In the hours after the crash, chaos reigned. Salman Khan, then 36, fled the scene, leaving his wrecked car and the victims behind. By dawn, the police arrived at his doorstep. The star claimed his driver, Ashok Singh, was behind the wheel, a narrative that would resurface years later. But initial reports told a different story. Witnesses alleged Salman reeked of alcohol, and rumors swirled of a cover-up. The police charged him under Section 304A of the Indian Penal Code, rash driving causing death, but the case soon spiraled into a labyrinth of legal twists. Evidence vanished, blood samples that could prove intoxication were lost, and the car's engine parts, critical to determining speed, were reportedly mishandled. Witnesses turned hostile, including the bakery's employees, who retracted statements implicating Salman. For over a decade, the case languished in Mumbai's courts, becoming a symbol of justice delayed. Meanwhile, Salman's career soared. He became the face of blockbusters like Dabangg and Ek the Tiger, even as protests erupted outside courtrooms. Families of the victims demanded answers, their grief overshadowed by the glitz of Bollywood. In May 2015, after 13 years of legal wrangling, a trial court delivered a bombshell. Salman Khan was guilty of culpable homicide not amounting to murder and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The verdict sent shockwaves. For a moment, it seemed the system had worked. The rich and famous were not above the law. But the victory was short-lived. In December 2015, the Bombay High Court overturned the conviction, acquitting Salman of all charges. Justice A.R. Joshi cited no conclusive evidence he was driving or intoxicated. The court accepted the defense's claim that Ashok Singh, the driver, lost control while sober. The ruling ignited fury. "Where is the justice for my son?" cried Sharif's mother, her anguish echoing across headlines. The state appealed to the Supreme Court, but in 2018, the justices upheld the acquittal, criticizing the prosecution's botched investigation. The case was closed, but the scars remained. From courtroom sketches to primetime debates, the case dominated Indian media. Every hearing was a spectacle. Cameras chased Salman's SUV, fans waved posters, and pundits dissected his bad boy image. Tabloids splashed rumors of secret parties, celebrity cover-ups, and political connections. The trial became a mirror reflecting India's obsession with fame. Salman's charity, being human, juxtaposed against the victim's poverty, fueled debates about hypocrisy. "He helps children, but killed my husband," lamented one widow. Meanwhile, his fan base rallied, flooding social media with hashtag #WeStandWithSalman. The case laid bare uncomfortable truths about privilege. Critics argued that Salman's wealth and influence warped the trial. Witnesses changed stories like costumes in a film, remarked lawyer Abbas Singh. The prosecution's failure to secure key evidence, a broken chain of custody for blood samples, missing CCTV footage, raised eyebrows. Comparisons to other celebrities followed. Sanjay Dutt's illegal arms possession in the 1993 blast case, or Alastair Pereira's 2006 hit and run, highlighted inconsistencies. Why did Salman walk free? Legal experts pointed to systemic flaws. The burden of proof is high, and investigations are often shoddy, explained senior advocate Rebecca John. For the poor, justice is elusive. For the wealthy, loopholes abound. Throughout the ordeal, Salman's stardom never dimmed. If anything, his roles as the lovable rogue mirrored public perception, flawed but forgiven. Films like Bajrangi Bhaijaan and Sultan broke box office records, and his Big Boss hosting gigs cemented his place as India's favorite antihero. Yet, whispers of Killer Khan lingered. Brands hesitated. Some sponsors dropped him, only to return as the legal fog cleared. The industry, critics argued, prioritized profit over morality. Bollywood thrives on second chances, noted filmmaker Anurag Kashyap, especially for its gods. For the victims' families, closure remains elusive. No compensation can replace a life, said Pathan's brother, who received 10 lakh in a civil settlement. Their fight continues, a stark contrast to Salman's redemption arc. The Salman Khan hit-and-run saga is more than a legal drama. It's a cultural parable. It asks, can fame insulate one from consequences? Does justice wear a price tag? As Salman dances on screen, his past shadows him, a reminder of a night when stardom collided with humanity. From Mumbai's streets, the bloodstains have faded, but the questions linger. In the end, the case leaves behind a haunting script, unfinished and unresolved, much like India's quest for equality before the law. Chapter 4. Raj Kundra's Downfall, the scandalous saga of porn and underworld ties. Mumbai, July 19th, 2021. The clock struck midnight as a convoy of unmarked police cars screeched to a halt outside a sprawling bungalow in Mumbai's upscale Jew neighborhood. Inside, businessman Raj Kundra, husband of Bollywood icon Shilpa Shetty, was asleep, oblivious to the storm about to engulf his life. By dawn, he'd be arrested in a case that would unravel a labyrinth of alleged porn production, illicit earnings, and whispers of underworld machinations. This is the gripping tale of ambition, scandal, and a digital empire built on shadows. Raj Kundra, a British Indian entrepreneur, was no stranger to controversy. Before becoming tabloid fodder, he'd built a reputation as a shrewd businessman with ventures spanning mining, sports, and entertainment. His marriage to Shilpa Shetty, a household name in India, catapulted him into the limelight. But it was his 2009 foray into the Rajasthan Royals IPL cricket team that first drew scrutiny, a partnership marred by a spot-fixing scandal in 2013. Kundra, ever the survivor, bounced back, diving headfirst into the digital boom. He launched Hot Shots, an app marketed as a platform for short films and bold content. But behind its glossy facade lay a vault of explicit material, accessible only to premium subscribers. For Kundra, this wasn't just a business, it was a goldmine. Hot Shots operated in the gray zone of India's strict anti-pornography laws. Marketed as an adult app, it offered subscriptions for rupees $999 a month, promising uncensored content. Police allege the app hosted over 4,000 pornographic videos, filmed discreetly in Mumbai apartments under the guise of fitness shoots. Actors, lured with promises of mainstream roles, were reportedly paid 25,000 to 50,000 rupees per video. The money flowed like a torrent. Investigators revealed Kundra's operation raked in 8-10 lakh daily, funneling profits through shell companies. But the app's success was its undoing. In early 2021, Mumbai Police's crime branch, tipped off by cyber complaint, began surveilling Hot Shots. What they uncovered was a blueprint for a pornographic empire and plans to expand it. Undercover officers infiltrated Hot Shots operations, seizing devices and dissecting encrypted chats. One exchange stood out. Kundra and his team discussing Hot Shots 2.0, a new app aimed at tapping Tier 2 cities. "We need content that's rawer, more real," read a message attributed to Kundra. Another chat hinted at partnerships with Dubai-based distributors, sparking rumors of underworld ties. The police alleged Kundra's network wasn't just digital. Raids uncovered contracts with middlemen linked to organized crime syndicates, notorious for smuggling and bootlegging. These groups handle distribution in areas where mainstream logistics won't tread, an anonymous officer revealed. They're ghosts, untraceable, ruthless. On July 19, 2021, the Mumbai Police Commissioner dropped a bombshell. Mr. Kundra appears to be the key conspirator. We have evidence of him producing and distributing pornographic films. The arrest under sections 420, cheating, 34, common intent, and the IT Act's obscenity clauses sent shockwaves. Kundra's legal team fought back, calling the charges baseless and immediate trial. But the evidence was damning. Financial trails leading to offshore accounts, explicit videos tagged with Hot Shots watermark, and testimonies from actors claiming coercion. "They said I'd be the next Sunny Leone," one victim told police. "Instead, I was trapped." As Kundra languished in Arthur Road jail, the scandal engulfed Shilpa Shetty. Paparazzi hounded her for comments, while memes mocked her yoga brand's mantra, "Stay healthy. Stay happy." She broke her silence weeks later, calling the ordeal a phase that shall pass. But the damage was done. Brands distanced themselves, and her film The Camera flopped, with critics blaming the Kundra curse. The most tantalizing and murky angle was the alleged underworld nexus. Crime branch sources hinted at Kundra's ties to Dawood Ibrahim's D Company, suggesting his apps use Hawala networks to launder money. Porn distribution in India is fragmented, explained a cybercrime expert. You need local muscle to bypass authorities, and that's where the underworld steps in. While concrete proof remained elusive, the whispers painted a picture of a mogul playing with fire. After 2 months in jail, Kundra secured bail, but the battle was far from over. The Mumbai Police's 1,500-page charge sheet detailed a web of 11 accused, including Kundra's brother-in-law and IT staff. Key evidence? A video where Kundra allegedly directs a shoot, barking, "Make it steamier." Hot Shots was shut down, but its clones sprouted overnight. "For every app we ban, 10 others emerge," lamented a cybercell officer. Kundra's case exposed a harsh truth. India's porn prohibition is a game of whack-a-mole, with demand outpacing enforcement. The trial crawls through Mumbai's congested courts. Kundra, meanwhile, has retreated from public life, though rumors swirl of him dabbling in crypto and NFTs. Shilpa, ever resilient, has rebooted her career with reality TV gigs. But the scandal's scars linger, a cautionary tale of ambition's dark side. Raj Kundra's story is more than a scandal. It's a reflection of India's complex relationship with pornography, where moral policing collides with a billion-dollar underground market. The hotshot saga laid bare the digital age's paradox, a world where fortunes are made in clicks and ruin lurks in the shadows. As the trial inches forward, one question remains. In the high-stakes game of power and vice, who truly holds the reins? Chapter 5, Gulshan Kumar, the murder that exposed Bollywood's underworld ties. The air outside Mumbai's Jeetshwar Mahadev Mandir was thick with the scent of marigolds and incense on the morning of August 12, 1997. Devotees shuffled in and out of the temple, their prayers mingling with the hum of auto rickshaws on the bustling streets of Andheri. But at 9:45 a.m., the serene rhythm shattered. 16 gunshots rang out, each crack echoing like a macabre drum roll. By the time the smoke cleared, Gulshan Kumar, India's cassette king, lay in a pool of blood, his body riddled with bullets. The assassination wasn't just a murder. It was a blood-soaked manifesto of the Mumbai underworld's grip on Bollywood, a collision of faith, fame, and organized crime that would unravel a web of extortion, betrayal, and cinematic-scale drama. Gulshan Kumar wasn't born a king. The son of a fruit juice seller in Delhi, he built his empire T-Series from a tiny shop in Chandni Chowk. His genius lay in democratizing music. While competitors sold cassettes for 100 rupees, Kumar slashed prices to 25 rupees, flooding markets with devotional hymns, Bollywood soundtracks, and pirated hits. By the 1990s, T-Series controlled 70% of India's music market. Its jingle, "When going home feels impossible," T-Series is there, ubiquitous in every rickshaw and radio. But success came with a price. Kumar's cutthroat tactics, aggressive pricing, questionable copyright practices made him enemies. Rumors swirled that he'd bribed politicians, strong-armed artists, and even funded films with hawala money. Yet, to millions, he remained a pious man, a devotee of Shiva who credited divine intervention for his rise. Every Tuesday, he visited temples seeking blessings. On that fateful Tuesday in 1997, those blessings ran out. To understand Gulshan Kumar's murder, one must step into the shadowy Mumbai of the 90s, a city where skyscrapers and slums coexisted with gang wars. Dawood Ibrahim's D Company, a sprawling syndicate with ties to gold smuggling, narcotics, and terrorism, ruled this underworld. After the 1993 Bombay bombings, Dawood had fled to Karachi, but his empire thrived. Extortion was its lifeblood. Film stars, producers, and businessmen received chilling calls. Pay up, or there's a bomb. Bollywood was a prime target. The industry's reliance on black money made it a playground for gangsters. Dawood's men financed blockbusters, manipulated box office collections, and even cast actors at gunpoint. Those who resisted paid dearly. Director Rajiv Rai fled India after shooters sprayed his car with bullets. Producer Bharat Shah later faced trial for liaising with the mafia. Gulshan Kumar, with his booming empire, was a golden goose until he refused to lay eggs. Kumar's Tuesday ritual was no secret. At 9:30 a.m., he arrived at Jeetshwar Mandir, barefoot and clad in a simple kurta. As he bent to ring the temple bell, two assassins emerged. Eyewitnesses described a scene ripped from a gangster film. One gunman fired wildly, sending devotees diving for cover, while the other stalked Kumar, pumping bullets into his chest at point-blank range. 16 rounds. The killers vanished into the chaos, leaving Kumar gasping his final words. "I don't know. Only Allah knows." The brutality stunned Mumbai. 16 bullets wasn't just murder, it was a message. Police swiftly pinned blame on D Company. But were there others involved? Rival music companies? Business enemies? The theories multiplied, but the motive seemed clear. Kumar had stopped paying protection money. Dawood's men had demanded 20 crore, $5 million. Kumar, emboldened by his clout, reportedly countered, "I have God on my side." The underworld's retribution was swift, sacrilegious, and cinematic. The investigation was a labyrinth. Mumbai's crime branch, led by stalwarts like Rakesh Maria, chased leads from Dubai to Delhi. Breakthrough came in 2001 when police nabbed Abdul Rauf Merchant, a D Company lieutenant, in a Hyderabad hideout. Under interrogation, Rauf cracked. He confessed to orchestrating the hit, revealing chilling details. Dawood's brother, Aniz Ibrahim, had ordered the murder. Sharpshooter Rakesh Pardesi pulled the trigger. Rauf's testimony painted a noirish picture. He'd stalked Kumar for weeks, noting his temple visits, even posing as a devotee. The killers received 5 lakh in a Dubai safe house. But why so many bullets? So people get scared, Rauf had said. The plan worked. After Kumar's death, extortion payments to D Company reportedly tripled. The trial was a saga in itself. Witnesses turned hostile, evidence vanished. Rauf retracted his confession, claiming torture. But in 2002, a Mumbai court sentenced him to life imprisonment, citing rarest of rare brutality. Key collaborator Abdul Rashid was acquitted, fueling conspiracy theories. Dawood, still in hiding, remained untouchable. For Kumar's family, the verdict was cold comfort. His son, Bhushan Kumar, then 19, inherited T-Series. "I didn't know if we'd survive," he later admitted. Yet, T-Series not only survived, it thrived, pivoting to films and YouTube dominance. Gulshan's legacy? A 15,000 crore empire. And unresolved questions. Kumar's murder forced Mumbai to confront its underworld ties. Police launched Operation Chakreview, arresting over 1,300 gangsters. The film industry distanced itself from shady financiers, embracing corporate funding. Yet whispers persist. In 2001, producer Bharat Shah was convicted for mafia links. In 2013, Sanjay Dutt's prison stint revived memories of the '93 blasts. Gulshan Kumar's story is more than a crime. It's a parable of Mumbai's duality. A city where temples and gangsters coexist, where devotion and danger intertwine. His murder exposed a nexus that still lingers, a reminder that in the shadow of glittering premieres, darkness thrives. Today, T-Series is one of the world's most viewed YouTube channels, a far cry from Gulshan's cassette shop. Bhushan Kumar, now a mogul himself, rarely speaks of 1997, but in Mumbai's studios, the legend lives on. Old-timers recall Gulshan's piety, his knack for hits, and the day the underworld wrote its script in blood. As for Abdul Rauf Merchant, he remains in Kolhapur Central Jail, his appeals rejected. Dawood Ibrahim, wanted by Interpol, roams free. And every Tuesday, devotees still flock to Jeetshwar Mandir, their prayers now punctuated by the ghostly echo of 16 shots, a requiem for the man who dared defy the darkness.